All right, Kyle. One question that I always am fascinated by right around this time of the year, because it's the end of the year and we're going into a new year. How long into January do you say Happy New Year to people? Like when you see someone for the first time, what's the cutoff date?
The first, on the second, you're on your
That's
own.
it. On the second you're done, so you're like gyms across the country. Like if you go on the first day and then you don't go on the second day, so you after January 1st, you are done.
But I am that guy that'll tell you Happy New Year when I'm not going to see you like until New Year's Day. So
Yeah, because I always get a kick out of the people like you see me on January 15th and say Happy New Year. I'm like I'm long past that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
no.
a year.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lockdown Avalanche podcast, part of the Lockdown Podcast Network. Your team every day. I am your host, Chris Maselli, and joining me, as always, Mr. Shaggy Von Doom, Kyle Sullivan. And this is it. This is our last episode of 2021 as we look forward to 2022. We will get into Avalanche hockey, hopefully, that
Yeah,
they will be playing this weekend. So we'll kind of talk about that. We'll talk about what to expect from the Anaheim Ducks. Even though we probably have no idea what to expect from them, we'll still talk about them. And we will finish off our moments from 2021, as well as get some moments from the people of Instagram who kind of posted in there. So all of that and then some. But first things first, follow the show on social media outlets, LOPN_Avalanche on Twitter, Locked on Avalanche on Instagram. Questions, comments, concerns, opinions to lockedonavalanche@gmail.com. Follow the show's YouTube channel over on the YouTube. And yeah, thank you for making this your first listen of the day. That's always appreciated. Before we get into any of that, we definitely need to throw our thoughts and feelings out to everybody in Boulder, in the Boulder area right now, going through those fires. Man, you look at some of those images and they're just haunting, man. Like that, you don't like to see that at all. There's some people that I follow on Twitter that are just fans
mm-hmm.
of the Avs, and they've evacuated and they don't know if their house is going to be there when they come back. Just you hate seeing this no matter where it is in the world, but being so close to Avalanche country and in the state of Colorado, you really thinking about those people right now.
Yeah. My heart goes out to everyone affected in that area. I'm hoping everyone just it's gets home safe and everything is okay when they get there. Like being born and raised in Alabama, dealing with tornadoes.
Yeah,
That it's that same, but everyone in Boulder is dealing with that impending doom and like that dread and evacuating. Like, and I think that's so much worse than just having like 30 seconds to get ready and out the door. It's just adrenaline at that point, and my heart
yeah,
feels for everyone affected, and I hope everything gets back to normal for you guys soon, and everyone gets safe most of all.
yeah. And if there's anybody that's in that area that is a listener of the show and you're listening right now to get a half hour away from it, that's what we're here to do. And if there's
Mm-hmm.
anything else we can do, obviously, definitely shoot us an email. But definitely thinking about the people over there right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, having said all that, we will move forward and discuss our Avalanche and what's going to be going on with them this weekend. Looking like they will be playing. I know. I actually sent a text message to Mr. Hernandez, the host of Locked On Ducks, because they still have some guys in the protocol. The Avalanche still do, but because of these new protocols, the guys that we thought would be the last ones coming out, which were Pavel Francouz and then Darren Helm, who just got added, because of these new protocols, they might come out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And according to Jared Bednar, Francouz could be there on Friday practicing with the team if he gives a negative test. And then Darren Helm could be back by Saturday. So both of these guys could be back for Sunday's game, where we thought neither one of them would be. So these new protocols benefiting the Avalanche right now.
Yeah. 3 words that'll excite every Avalanche fan in the nation: full strength hockey.
I mean, that's
Ooh.
I know Mosier was doing something on Twitter trying to find the last time that they were I don't know who it was. I think it's somebody that works for Altitude, maybe one of their stat guys or something, who he was trying to get him to find out the last time the Avs had a 100% healthy lineup. And I think it was something like 700 days or something like that. It's been a very, very long time. So because of that, and we're going to assume good for once for the Avs.
Yeah.
Let's assume Francouz comes back, even though he won't be in the mix, and let's assume Helm comes back, who would be in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the lines in front of you. Read the lines with the assumption that Helm is back.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Now we just addressed Helm. These are your lines, which you could be looking forward to, Avalanche fans. Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen, and Chushkin.
That's our first line. That's our top line. Looking forward to that all the time. All right, line number 2.
Nuke, Kadri, Burakovsky. That's line number 2.
That's our solid second line, which when we are healthy is one of the better second lines in the league. All right, go ahead.
Timothy Comfer, Alex Newhook, and LOC.
And that is a line that you like now with how O'Connor is playing, how Comfer was playing at the beginning of the year, and he got to be put on the injury list for a little while, but now he's back. So looking forward to that. And then you know what you're going to get out of Jost. So solid third line.
And your fourth line, with the recent signing and call up, you might see a little Cal Burke, or it might be Kirk McDirt. And you get Josty and Abukubel. That is your line 4 with whoever.
That's your line 4. But if Helm comes back, well, he would probably take over the fourth line. No,
he would probably take that Burke McDermott spot, and
right? Exactly.
He would fill that. It would be Jost and Abukubel, but I mean, still, that's a good fourth line.
You're happy with all of that, even if Helm doesn't come back, and McDermott is I think he's like finding. I say that like he knew his role all along, but I just feel like he's settling into his role right now. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes tops, and put him out there situationally if they need him to throw his weight around. So whatever, that is what he's not gonna. And they never got him with the intention of he's going to win us games. Nobody was ever thinking that he's going to put us over the top. He's there for specific purposes. So if he's in there, fine. I mean, because everybody else is healthy, you're okay with Curtis McDermott on a fourth line, just going out there to throw his body around.
Yeah.
Where, 2 months ago when he just looked completely lost, you would say like, why did we even acquire this guy? Now you're saying, why did we acquire this guy? But okay, throw him in there for a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
His role's been established that you're comfortable with.
Yeah. As far as the Ducks go, the Ducks and Jason has not responded to me yet. Maybe because he doesn't want to answer me on, maybe the answer is, Zegras is not going to be back for that game because he's in protocol, but I think he might be coming out of it by the time they play the Avs. I'm not 100% sure. So that's why I sent Jason a message. We'll see if he responds by the end of this episode. But the Ducks are going to have 2 games under their belt before they play the Avs. And I don't like that and I'm not saying I blame the league or anything like that. It's just the way that things have worked out because the Avs are going to be off for, I think it's like 18 days before they play a game. And the Ducks had some time off too. I get that. But they have a 2-game head start on the Avs going into this game. They lost. It was an overtime loss to Vancouver, who suddenly is,
like who would have thought?
I mean, they're climbing this mountain. It's 7-0 in their last 7 games, but they lost in overtime. So, they came out of that was their first game after the break. They came out of it and played a decent game. They got a point, lost in overtime. Their next game is Friday against Vegas. So we'll have to monitor that, see how they play against a good team in Vegas. And if they play a good game or even beat Vegas, you got to be looking like the Avalanche have to be looking at like, all right, we got to come out hot. Like we can't have this, 10-minute get in our legs, but that is going to happen. That's
Yeah.
just inevitable. I guess I guess I'm saying for the Avs, you just have to stay in the mix and just contain anything you can for the Ducks and just stay in the game for those first 10 minutes to get your legs back.
And that's another wonderful thing about all those names we just read. That is veteran, established talent coming back to the roster. You're not going to see the deer in the headlight looks that you get out of like your Justin Barons or your Sampo Rantas that were just there to, fill in the team and get us to the next game. Like these are your established talent. And like even in that tweet about practice, like you might even see a little Bo Byram and Ryan Murray on the defense, and you'll get Johnson and Johnson out there. Like you're getting veteran defense back. Kale McCarr is going to be out there. Sammy G. Like you feel a little bit better coming off 18 days of no hockey, knowing this veteran team out there. And Bednar, he doesn't pull his punches when he says, "Hey, we got to knock the rust off." If he's saying guys are looking good and they got their step, that's something I can believe in.
Yeah. I mean, they always go hard in practice, and it seems like it's been noticed. So they, and that's the other good thing is like they do have a handful of practices under their belt. At least they have that. And it wasn't like they just started practicing on Friday and then they have a game on Saturday or Sunday. Sunday game is Sunday. So you're kind of happy that they at least are back. They can kind of maybe get into step with one another. But the actual physical game is a whole nother animal. And I'm weary of those first 10 minutes of this game. And maybe they'll prove me wrong. Even though, I mean, you are, give or take 30 games into the season. So you have that to rely on. And just look at this as a 2-week bye, basically. So, going to be interesting to watch. We shall see.
Yeah, but for those first 10 minutes of that Ducks game, that's where it's going to be dictated because the talent the Avalanche have, as long as they can hold on and keep it tight to the second period, they will overwhelm them towards the latter half of the game.
Yeah. All right, let's hear from Built Bar, and then we'll get into a couple final memories for Kyle and I from 2021. So, Built Bar, it's the new year, so that means New Year's resolutions, and it's is yours about getting fit or eating healthier? Then make sure you include Built Bar in your plan. Built Bar is a protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, maybe even better than a candy bar. It makes it easier to stick to your resolution because it tastes so good and you'll want to eat it, unlike other protein bars, which can be chalky, waxy, taste like a chemical spill. I want to know which bar tastes like a chemical spill because I kind of want to try that just out of curiosity.
It sounds like a Spider-Man movie.
You want to eat healthy, but it just gets so boring. By week 3, you might be thinking this is just not worth it. Where's the chocolate? Well, you are in luck because Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate. Even if you're not a huge fan of working out, you can at least eat something that tastes good and is good for you. That way, when you enjoy a delicious Built Bar, you can almost count it as a workout. So go to builtbar.com or built.com. Use the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off of your order. And once again, that promo code is LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built Bar or built.com. All right, so we've been talking the past couple of days about some good memories from the 2021 year, not just this last season, last 2 seasons within the year of 2021. So if you haven't listened to the past couple episodes, go back and check those out. Kyle and I will give 2 more, one each, and then definitely talk about some of the ones that we got over on Instagram. For me, I yesterday went into the Landeskog fight with Braden Shen and how that set the tone for that whole series against the Blues, which led to the Avalanche sweep. And I'm not doing this deliberately, but kind of staying on the Landeskog tip, signing him on free agency day was a great moment because it was just it was like doom and gloom. I think a lot of Avalanche fans were just preparing for life without Gabe Landeskog. I wasn't fully there. I've seen so many things like this go down, and I've seen a lot of guys want to test free agency.
Yeah.
That's their right. I think he wanted to stay here all along, and I think he just wanted to see, this is like your one and only chance to do this in your career. And I thought he was at least going to do that, kind of go around the league, get a couple offers, weigh them against what the Avalanche were doing. And in the end, at like the 12th hour, he signed. Before, and he didn't even hit the market. It was minutes up until free agency day, and it was almost like, he was kind of like, no, I've been telling you guys I want to stay here.
Yeah.
I wasn't lying, and he took a deal, and that started such an up and down day of emotions for Avs fans, because you woke up to that news. Basically, I remember I was recording an episode with King Dewitt,
Yeah.
his Jersey podcast. I was doing that show with him when the news broke, and we just stopped talking about jerseys, and we're like, oh my god, like, how did this come about? And then, so a lot of people woke up to that. And then the thing that Avalanche fans thought was a no-brainer in Philip Grubauer staying with the Avs, he bolts for Seattle. So you wake up feeling good, and then the Grubauer thing happens, and then they have to make a deal, which they did for Darcy Kemper. So you felt good about that at the end of the day. It was a crazy 24 hours for the Avs. The big deal, obviously, was the Landeskog signing. And I just think that was maybe one of the best moments for the Avs for the entire year.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It was a nervous time. That whole draft, everything around it, not knowing who's going, and everything up in the air with Landeskog. And I know Seattle was courting him hard and showing him the town and treating him like a king. So for him to come back at the deal he got and come right out of the gate, because that was one of the things we mentioned that I remember talking to you about. Like, as long as he comes in and contributes and doesn't kind of get fat and happy with the contract, he came right out fist first, and he scored
Awesome.
that first game. Like, yeah, and it was incredible, and it's been an incredible season for Gabe Landeskog. Quietly, it's been a really good season.
It's been a great season. And, it's not even a week ago where we were doing a Mount Rushmore episode where he, looking ahead 10, 15 years, he could carve his face into that Avalanche Mount Rushmore, because he's a special player for this team. He's your captain. He's your captain.
I had him knocking off Peter Forsberg.
You do. Yeah. So, it was a great day overall. And it seems to have worked out, because Grubauer is struggling mightily up in Seattle. So
sure is.
But that's definitely my last one. So what do you got?
Well, you can't have me giving out my favorite Avalanche anything without mentioning one Nazem Kadri.
Your favorite Avalanche player, right?
November 25th, 2021 was the end of Nazem Kadri's point streak. And it was not just an incredible point streak, like 21 points in 10 games. And it came at a time, like, yes, it was notable. Like, he started rocketing up the point tally in the league. He was in top 5 for a while. But that came when Nate was hurt. It was one of those things that you were kind of wondering, like, how is this team going to push forward? Who's going to be that guy? And like you were talking with Gabe, that uncertainty of what was going to happen with Seattle, we were also having those same questions about Nas because of how his playoffs ended. And is this somebody we want to take a gamble on again this year? And should we just let him go unprotected and let Seattle take him? And it was a point of contention among Avalanche fans, like, should we just wash our hands clean and not gamble on it? And Sakic, of course, brings him on back, gives him a chance, and look at how he's paying off. Like, he has been one of the quieter but very valuable members of the Avalanche, and his point streak kind of brought the eyes back on the Avalanche, because we've mentioned it a couple times. They started the season rough, and everybody was picking us to win the cup, so everybody kind of gave up on us for a little while. And when Nas got hot, everybody's like, oh, the Avalanche finally have it cooking again. We could start paying attention to them. And I think that point streak had a lot to do with us building confidence over time.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't. We talked about would he go unprotected in the and in the Kraken draft, and a lot of that was just that's what we do here. Like we talk about a lot of things going on in the Avs world, and check off all those boxes of possibilities. I don't think any of us really thought it would be that would actually happen, but you talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't think the Avalanche ever considered that. I really don't. Like listening to kind of like things that were said in training camp in the preseason. I think he was a lock from day one. And it kind of shows you what they felt about him and what they feel that he brings to the team. And now he's making it difficult for the Avalanche after the season is over, because he's he's an unrestricted free agent after this year. He's had a very good career with the Avalanche, as short as it's been. And everything the Avalanche are doing right now is with eyes on when Nathan MacKinnon becomes a free agent. So what are they going to do with Nazem Kadri in this offseason? It is a big, big question, because your entire second line is up for unrestricted free agency. Almost 70% of your forwards are up for free agency. I don't know if that's an accurate percentage. All I'm saying is a very high percentage of your forwards are up for free agency. He's going to, is he going to demand more than he's making right now? That's a big ask for someone who's going to be 32 years old, I think, when the season is over, who's making 4.5 right now, which I think is his value. Do you sign him? How long? How much term? And for how much money? And the way he's playing right now, he's going to probably want a little bit of an increase. Can the Avalanche do that? That's going to be definitely something to watch when this offseason comes around.
Yeah, because he's kind of, when we lost P.E. Belmar to the Lightning, like he's kind of taken over that vocal leader role, like in that second slot behind the top line. That's where Pebbles was. He was that leader, the emotional leader in the locker room, and you could see it. The Avalanche listened to him. Like he's always barking before the pucks drop. Like Nas has stepped up to that position, and depending on what the playoffs look like for this team this year, we'll see how much. If this is where he feels like he can get a cup, we'll have to prove it to him in this playoff. If we end up getting kicked out in the second round again, is this something he wants to devote himself to next year? We'll find out.
We shall see. All right, so let's hear from Bet Online, and then we'll hear some favorite moments from you, the fans, as well. So Bet Online has you covered this holiday season with more prop bets, odds, and lines than ever before, as the football season makes its march towards the postseason in the NFL, and college bowl season is among us. Bet Online remains your number one spot for all of the sports action this year. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up. And when you do, you will receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use the promo code Locked On to receive that bonus. From basketball, football, the NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your favorite sports. It's where the game starts. That's betonline.ag. So you've heard our favorite moments over the past few days, and now it's time to hear from a few of you who posted to the question up on Instagram asking for your favorite moments. We got a few of them, some of them very good. I think I'll save the best one for last. But we got one from Nick Bichelle, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that last name right, but he put Mikko's overtime winner versus Vegas in the playoffs. There wasn't much to write home on about that Vegas series clearly after that goal.
Yeah.
And even that goal, that game, the Avs were dominated by Vegas in that game, but they hung tough. They kept in the game, got it to overtime, and Mikko with an incredible shot in overtime. And you felt so good after that game, not only because they won, but because Vegas dominated them. and you're like, man, if that's Vegas's best punch and we took it, here comes another sweep.
Yeah.
And then the complete opposite happened. So that was the last positive thing that really came out for the Avs in the playoffs.
Yeah, and to see Miko in that role, like that overtime game winner heroics, everybody kind of roots for that moment because like everybody
Yep.
loves Miko, and to see him against a formidable opponent pull it out like that, that was a Miko. That was a great moment for him.
Great
A
show.
great pull for Nick. I like that one.
And doing it at home too,
Yeah.
with when you see the crowd go wild. Again, another great Connor McGahey
Yeah.
moment. And that video is a funny video because I don't know if I think it's just someone's cell phone who was in the booth with him kind of turns to him. He's going berserk. And Peter McNabb is just standing there, hands in his pockets. He's seen it a million times. He gave a little fist bump, and that was about it. And then you
Yeah.
got McGahey going, Ace Ventura over next to him. It was great. I think about that was a great moment. Scuba Steve 1583 throws a few of them out there. He says Lake Tahoe, which is one that we
Mm-hmm.
talked about earlier. Cale Makar continuing to excel.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lists Logan O'Connor and Val Nichushkin this season.
Yeah.
So definitely Cale Makar, obviously, continues to do things that just wow us almost every game. And yeah, Logan O'Connor just being this guy just being shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
Becoming more of a name that people know. I'm really excited to see what he does when they start to come back. And absolutely Val Nichushkin.
Yeah.
Reinvigorated his career with the Avs. Dallas just gave up on him and didn't want to work with him. And the Avs gave him a chance, and now he is one of their most relied upon players.
Yeah, I love all three of those because it was always Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar, and now Cale Makar is in a stratosphere. Nuke, everybody gave up on, and now his new role where he gets dirty in the slot. I mean, it's the most dangerous player in hockey. And to see LOC be the caliber player that he is this year is absolutely astounding. And I cannot wait to see what else he has in his bag of tricks because he has surprised me from the hop this year. And I did not think this was something he could do. And seeing both Nuke and LOC the way they are right now, it's just more confidence going forward, especially deeper into the playoffs.
Pretty sure Nichushkin is another guy that is a unrestricted free agent after this year. I'm almost positive. So I'm gonna look that up really quick. But yeah, he's another one that's going to cause them fits. Let me see. Val Nichushkin is a UFA.
Ooh.
There we go. It's going to be fun. All right, we got purple minion rules. I thought all minions were yellow.
But the purple one rules.
Yeah, well, no, isn't maybe the purple one is the angry? Isn't there an angry minion?
Yeah, doesn't he have like fuzzy hair?
Yeah, and he has like a Is that the purple one? I don't know.
I think so.
I'm not completely up to date on the minions, but anyway,
Dad's over here doing dad stuff.
They write Bowen Byram, his first NHL goal on opening night against the Chicago Blackhawks. Great game all around. That's the excitement. It's game number one. You're at home. You're playing a division rival. And Byram steps up on a nice cross-ice pass from Gabe Landeskog, who, his first game after his signing his first contract, who had a goal as well before the Byram one. Great moment for him, and away off he goes to the start of a really good season. Obviously, it's been derailed right now, but it was good to see him get that goal.
Yeah, that was a great night on TNT. First game, Chicago start the year off. Jack Johnson getting the first goal, then the captain, and then Bo coming right out and getting his first goal. It was a great night for Avalanche fans for sure.
Awesome moment. And finally, Garrett Reese says, and I'm paraphrasing, when Connor Garland lost his helmet and Nathan McKinnon politely handed it back to him in a throwing fashion.
Of course.
Great moment. Awesome moment.
Gotta love that. Oh, so good.
It's great to see that in like GIF mode.
Yes.
That's just on a loop, on a constant loop. Like it's one of those things that'll Never go. I talked about the Lake Tahoe game,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my favorite things coming out of that was uh, it wasn't Belmar. It was Belmar who said
Yeah,
he wanted to. He thought he was going to skate on
yeah,
Lake
on the
Tahoe,
lake. Yeah,
and how I said I could just watch that over and over again. And this, McKinnon launching
it,
Connor Garland's helmet back in his face is something you could just watch on a loop all the time.
like I'm about to turn 33 this in January. I've never understood NFTs, but seeing that GIF of McKinnon throw that helmet, I think
You
that
want
might
that?
be my first NFT that
You
I
want that
buy.
NFT form? Yeah. Oh my god. So definitely good ones.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this now and you didn't get one in, you could still send it. We'll talk about it. We'll
Oh
talk.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. We're just. It's like how long. Like I said in the beginning, how often do you say Happy New Year halfway through January? I don't say it halfway through January. I'll talk about Avalanche 2021 halfway through January. I have no problem doing that.
I'll tell you Happy New Year in June. Random June episode. We'll start it
That's
up
what
and
I'm
I'll just tell
saying.
you Happy New
You
Year.
know, because like there's some people like, oh, I say it the first time I see them, and that's my response. If you see them in June for the first time all year, you're not going to say Happy New Year to them. It's out of your mind.
You don't go through all your holidays and check them off that way. You're like Happy New
No,
Year, and by the way, Happy St. Patrick's Day.
yeah, you're like, oh, I know I'm not going to see you the rest of the year, so Merry Christmas, even though it's
Yeah.
July. No, don't do it. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm hoping, praying, everything that we will be able to talk about an Avalanche game on Monday when they go up against the Ducks. And
Yeah.
we'll also get into, now that we're into a new year, what we're kind of expecting and hoping for this new year for 2022 when it comes to the Colorado Avalanche. So
Yeah.
that is it for today. That's it for this week. That's it for this year.
That's it.
A full year. And I will say this, another favorite memory for me is Mr. Shaggy Von Doom joining
Aw.
me on this little podcast that we have here known as the Locked On Podcast, Locked On
You know
Avalanche
this is
Podcast.
on YouTube. Don't make me cry, man.
Oh man, he's getting teary-eyed. So let's end this thing before his man card is pulled, I guess. No, it's okay to cry, sir. All right, that's going to be it for today, everybody. Thank you for making this your first listen of the day. Check out Locked On NHL for your second listen. Catch up on everything going on around the league. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It really is a pleasure doing this. And if you've been with us since day one, thank you. If you've been with us at the start of this year, appreciate that. If this is the first time you've listened, thank you for that too. So we'll see you guys. I'm going to be one of those guys. We'll see you next year. All right.